stems from this ancient palace. Its crimson and white wall and its golden roof shine in glory in the famous sunlight of Lhasa.
The signature structure of Tibet is, of course, Potala Palace. And you see, millions of people come here every year to witness its grandeur. It stands over 110 meters in height and has over 1,000 rooms. Formerly used as government offices, now it's mostly admired as a religious and historical center.
In 641, Songtsen Gampo, ruler of the Tubo Kingdom, had the Potala Palace built for Princess Wencheng of the Tang Dynasty, who he was soon to marry. The complex is made up of two sections, the Red Palace and the White Palace, which together consists of 1,000 rooms. It's a model of Tibetan architecture and a major national cultural monument. This world's highest palace stands more than 3,700 meters above sea level and has 13 stories with 999 rooms.
You see, the Potala Palace is composed mostly of two colors, red and white. Now, of course, they're symbolic. The red symbolizes power, and the white symbolizes peace and tranquility, just like the palace.
Much remains veiled to the visitor, like the stupa of the 5th Dalai Lama, who rebuilt the palace after it was damaged by lightning and warfare. At 14 meters high, the stupa has over 3,700 kilograms of gold. The designs and decorations are all inlaid with diamonds and pearls, as well as other precious items. The White Palace, comprising halls, temples, and courtyards, serves as the living quarters of the Dalai Lama. The Red Palace includes various chambers for worshipping Buddha and chambers housing the 8 stupa that contain the remains of 5th through 13th Dalai Lama. The Potala Palace is a historical monument, but still preserves a special place in people's hearts today. Devout Tibetans pilgrimage here by vehicle, by motorbike, by foot, and even on hands and knees. For many people, a visit to Tibet is meaningless without two things: the Potala Palace and Mount Everest. And here, we meet some seemingly common folk who have some big dreams.
And this is Mount Everest, the highest peak in the entire world. So, who has been to Mount Everest?
Me.
You have?
Yes.
Okay. What do you need to bring to Mount Everest?
Rope and tent, down jacket, and crampons, and mountain boat, and all.
Mountain climbing? Tent! Avalanche!
I can teach them some English. Maybe I can learn to climb as well. Mount Everest of the Himalayas is the highest mountain peak in the world at 8,848 meters.
I can't really get my leg up so high. This looked much easier when they were doing it. Got pretty high, but it's not really because of me. Look over there. Look over there. Look over there. There's like the person pulling. Everyone's literally pulling me up. Can't do it by myself.
There are these special climbing schools that train students in climbing along with other necessary knowledge to prepare them for a climb to the third pole. Once the North and South Poles had been reached by explorers, Mount Everest was their next challenge, often called the third pole. Attempts to climb the mountain began the first half of the 20th century. One man, George Mallory, was one of them who dared to challenge it. When asked, "Why do you climb the mountain?" he said, "Because it is there." Unfortunately, he didn't come back from Everest. It was the last time Mallory was observed. From Lhasa, we continue west to Jiangzi of Rikaze district, which means the fertile land in Tibetan. The sights along the way are spectacular. Here, the environment is harsh and at a challenging high-altitude natural environment. However, there are the small villages that dot the landscape and manage to catch our eye.
What a crazy journey! So far we've been past mountains and grasses and flowers and deserts, and the weather's been changing all over the place. You got sunny weather, you got clouds, wind, even we passed through a sandstorm. So I wonder what Rikaze will actually be like once we get there, but we'll have to be bouncing for a few more hours over this multivaried scenery before we get there. The wait.
At an average altitude of over 4,000 meters, it's typical to see views beyond the realm of your imagination in Tibet. Here we find the famous mountain Zongshan. It was once the location of the local government of Jiangzi County and has a group of castles located on a hill in the urban area. Jiangzi is well known as Hero Town because of the Tibetan soldiers and people who once took part in a fierce battle to defend it. Fort Ruin of resisting British Army is located on that mountain. It used to be an ancient castle where the Tibetans fought against the British Army's invasion a century ago. China is a country of 56 minorities, but they are all united and at peace. A famous movie called Hong He Gu was even made, portraying this honorable act by the Tibetans. Today, on the walls, we can find cannons and bullet holes, reminding us of the rich history. These days, people still live quietly here in their traditional ways. The houses are traditional whitewashed houses of 2 stories. Every household raises